What's up, guys? So this is the second part of the video. Obviously, I'm going to be shooting them on the same day while I'm doing the clutches, but I just didn't want to make a 20-minute video that nobody's going to watch the whole thing. So again, we left off with the primary clutch being completed, the P22 with the ZRP titanium clutch weights. Again, the stock clutch weights were 3 ounces, 2.9 ounces, and the same thing with the Speedwerx P22 clutch weights in conjunction with Vogue Performance. Different angle, different shift patterns, and different adjustability. We also did the P22 clutch weight pins from ZRP, the titanium lightweight ones. They are 0.8 ounces compared to 1.8 ounces from factory. We also installed the Fire and Ice P22 clutch cover, which is the same exact weight as the factory P22 clutch cover. Just a recap, as a larger bushing, it is stronger material, it's going to last longer, and it's going to tighten that tower up because it already is extremely light. It's just going to keep everything more rigid and solid for shifting and the best performance possible. So stay tuned and we'll get to it. All right, so I just put some heat to loosen everything up. The factory team clutch helix bolts. We're going to turn this on, and I already did calibrate this before I did the video in case anybody's concerned. So with everything here, we are at 0.6 ounces. I do have some sweet goodies here from ZRP. It's going to be the same exact weight, but they have a stronger material and a different hex, so it doesn't strip out. So if anybody has had the unfortunate circumstances where they had to strip out a bolt, it's not fun. These ones are a stronger material, same weight, but they're going to prevent from stripping out. All right, so the factory helix, it is a 58-46-36. It is weighing about 1 pound, 7.6 ounces. The Speedwerx helix is 1 pound, 6.2 ounces. Now that's compared back to the factory, 1 pound, 7.6 ounces. Now you can see it's quite a bit of difference between the lighter weight material and the milling. Again, 1 pound, 6.1 ounces. Just from this, obviously everything's milled out here. It's a dual helix. The Speedwerx helix for this kit is a 56-42-36 or a 58-44-36. Stock is a 58-46-36, and this can be anywhere from a 58-44 or a 42-36. All right, so you're definitely going to have a more progressive shift pattern on these. Now with the HYPERSHIFT series and the Exterminator, they are recommending that I start out with the 58-44-36. Let's see how that engages, and then if I need to change it, I will. But for starters, I'm going to do what they recommend in the 58-44-36. And then based on everything, it's going to be an engagement of around 4,000 RPMs, which isn't terrible. I do like it a little bit higher, like around a 42 to 43, but that can easily be changed. And the operating RPM should be around 8,300 RPM. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is some more lightweight products from ZRP. I have a lightweight spring cup and a lightweight secondary spider. So this is the factory one. It's from my XCR that was already done, but it's the same exact weight from the one that I'm about to take apart. So, factory 2.2 ounces compared to 0.9 ounces. The factory spider for the secondary 4.2 ounces compared to 5.6 ounces. So just here in the secondary, we're already cutting a bunch of weight and we haven't even finished this up yet. So me personally, I think trying to lighten up the clutch is going to be a little better. So they say that, and I've already highlighted this in previous videos, but if this is the first one you're watching, 1 pound of rotating weight removed is equivalent to 7 pounds of stationary weight. So I know it might not be a lot that I'm trying to reduce here from the primary at least, but in conjunction with the primary and the secondary, which I hope to be about 1 pound of rotating mass removed, they say 1 pound is equivalent to 7 pounds of stationary weight, and 1 pound of rotating weight is equivalent to 2 horsepower increase to the crank. And again, this is to the crank. This isn't like a bolt-on part to give you more horsepower. It's just freeing up everything, which is noticeable by a track dyno at 2 horsepower. All right, so now I got the secondary apart. The factory spring and the spring cup. And there she is. Right, for the next step, they have smaller rollers so you can utilize the dual helix. So what we're gonna do is we are going to just be removing the hardware on this because we're not gonna be reusing these rollers like I did on my XCR last year, where I used these rollers on the lightweight secondary spider. We're actually gonna be removing these and installing these smaller rollers to utilize that dual helix. So the stock roller, 0.4 ounces, and the Speedwerx roller is going to be 0.2 ounces. And this is assembled. So again, just pull that out, make sure that you use the washers, and then when you put everything back, if I can zoom up on it, just want to make sure that everything is in there so they don't pop out. Next thing we're going to install is the ZRP washers with the needle bearings in them that help for binding and smoothness. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw this in there like so, and then put the bearings on top of it. After that, clean the debris, and then you're going to put the spring cup on top of it. And then the Speedwerx spring on top of that. And you can see it's going to be less binding and easier rolling for the spring. Make sure everything works nice and smooth. Now, these are the ZRP secondary in the helix torque bolts. These are going to be an IP30 torque head. It's going to be deeper, better penetration to prevent stripping. This is actually a harder material, and these bolts are cheaper, about half the price as the stock bolts from Polaris. All right, I threw some blue Loctite on it, and then it's going to be the factory torque specs, which is going to be 24 foot-pounds. Everything is installed. Helix is installed. Obviously, this is going to be the orientation mark where the helix is going to be installed. Everything is installed via the lined up the way it was from factory. So when I send it out to TJ to be lightened and balanced even further, he's going to be installing a set screw here that's pretty much a dummy set screw just to help with balancing, because there is known issues with the team secondaries bolt being removed for the P22, since the P22 is self-adjusting. So we're definitely going to be throwing one of those on there. All right, so all said and done, this clutch is at 8 pounds, 9.7 ounces. 8 pounds, 9.7 ounces. All right, so all in all, after everything's said and done, we saved about 0.68 pounds with this build. Again, a recap, everything was from ZRP lightweight titanium products, Speedwerx, their lightweight helix, along with their lightweight alloy springs, their H5 springs. So that's going to be it. So I am heading up to Old Forge this weekend. We're going to throw the clutches on the sled. We're going to go out and do a little test and tune on it, and then I will send these out for them to be balanced at Petrick Custom Carbons. I will update throughout the rest of this build once I get the exhaust installed, hopefully this weekend, along with a couple other lightweight additions that I should be doing here. Then I'll do one last video once I do the install of the ECU through Speedwerx. Then I will have a couple dyno videos coming out. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care.